Good evening, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend.
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
Where we talk about anything and everything.
Well, as long as it's interesting to us.
Yeah, because if it isn't interesting to us, then why do you give a darn?
You know.
So I'm going to start off. I'm going to come out hot, shooting out like a bullet, and say I done wrong. I bought this last week, and I was going to save it for the show, and I couldn't. I lacked discipline, and I can't even eat it on the show because I ate it and finished it before. And that is Reese's Pieces bark.
Oh.
It is milk chocolate pieces with mini Reese's Pieces candy and peanuts.
Is it like brittle?
It is like, just think a piece of milk chocolate with meat, Reese's Pieces and peanuts melted inside. It is delicious. It was amazing. I wish I wasn't such a fatty. It was 1 pound, 4 ounces that I ate over the course of about 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, you took your time.
It had 18 servings, which means I had on average 6 servings a day.
That is a problem.
And 1 serving is 160 calories. However, I'm on Zepbound and I'm down pounds since then. Yeah. Yay for
With
Zepbound.
Zepbound.
Making me lose weight. And actually, I can say for the first time since prior to the cruise that we went on to Alaska in 2023, I am at my lightest weight since then.
Which is what?
As of this morning, 287. Yes. And the only reason I was lighter than that on the cruise, at the start of the cruise, was because I had just had surgery before to have my, what are these called?
Tonsils?
Tonsils taken out, and I couldn't really eat much. And so I was down to like 275.
So when I can't eat, I lose weight.
Yeah. So, except on Zepbound, I'm eating and I'm losing weight. So I should be down
to life and still lose weight.
On the current projection. I should be down to 275, probably within about the next month. So I could potentially be the lightest I've been in a long time in the next month. But with all of that said, tonight I'll be drinking a Biggie's Buzzball Berry Cherry Limeade.
What the hell? That's
This is a party in a ball.
that's like what? 5 Buzzballs?
15% alcohol by volume.
What's that, like 5? That's if you tell us like 5 Buzzballs right there.
This is a 1.75. It says, I remember reading somewhere that one of these is like a bunch of Buzzballs, but I don't remember how many. But it's a biggie. And I've never had a Buzzball. Oh my. This smells delicious. Again, it is berry cherry limeade.
Berry cherry limeade.
Got my big A's cup to drink it out of. So, like I said, coming in hot today. Between that Reese's Pieces bark that I've already destroyed and now this Biggie Ball.
Biggie Ball.
What have you been up to the last week?
Man, not a whole lot. Just work and drove out to Pahrump yesterday.
What the heck is in Pahrump?
That's where my buddy Rudy and his family are. It was his daughter's birthday yesterday. So, well, not her birthday's actually Monday, Monday, but they were celebrating it yesterday. So what, not good?
Oh, is this supposed to be mixed with something? Or are you just supposed to drink it straight?
You're supposed to drink it like that, bruh.
Oh.
Look
15% alcohol by volume.
Look like you got slapped in the face.
Oh my! Well, okay. So, to be fair, something that I left out. I had my second half of my mouth teeth cleaning today.
Oh yeah.
And I will say I'm not numb anymore, but I'm definitely not 100%. And maybe it's like the alcohol getting into the
crevices.
But this is and Tyrus checking in. That blue ball is college regret in a bottle. And he says to cut it with some Sprite or water. No, I'm going hard. I don't know that I'm going to drink this whole bottle tonight, but
hey, you know what I just saw today? Speaking of drinking, I saw there's this. It's called. I can't remember the name of it, but it's Ghost. It's like Carolina Reaper rum or something like that, and it's like rum, but it's like supposed to be the spiciest rum, and literally it's like hot.
That sounds like something you'd enjoy.
No, I was watching them drink it, and I was just like, nah, bro.
You like Fireball, don't you?
I stopped drinking Fireball. At least if it's made if it's from the U.S., I ain't drinking that no more. If I can get it from someplace else, then yeah. But the U.S. apparently.
Can you elaborate on why?
Well, so apparently I'm sure there's probably other alcohols too, as I need to do some more research on that. But the legal amount of antifreeze that you can have in a drink.
And you're saying that they knowingly, intentionally put antifreeze in Fireball?
The legal amount that you can actually you can have in there. Like I read that and I was like, nah, bro. I still
Where
every once
did you
in a while,
read that?
It was in some medical. It was like not medical. It was men's something or other, like about drinks.
I don't know, man. You gotta do research because I just did. Is there antifreeze in Fireball? No, Fireball whiskey does not contain antifreeze. While the drink previously included propylene glycol, a chemical also found in some antifreeze, it was in a quality deemed safe by the FDA, and Fireball has since removed it from their formula, according to a Fireball FAQ and Chowhound.
Oh, okay. Well, this is also a number of years ago that I read that. So,
well, it's safe to drink again, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but this is apparently it's apparently not like Fireball isn't spicy. like it just tastes like cinnamon candy to me.
Mhm.
Whereas like and even if it tasted like the Fireball candies, that would also be okay because those are I
You
didn't
mean
really
like hot
find.
tamales?
No, the little round red balls. They were called fireballs or something like that.
Oh, is that where it came from?
I don't know. I mean, like they could have just used cinnamon, but like there was these candies. They were individually wrapped. They were called fireballs, and like I also like those.
Is
But
that
I
like
also
the little barrels that taste like root beer?
uh, I mean, I not really because these were just like a cinnamon candy. These were like supposed to be like hot, but they were
Did
just
you never have hot tamales? Because that's
hot tamales aren't hot to me either. But like yeah, I would say like again, like hot tamales, uh, they're not hot. They're just like again, it's just like a cinnamon candy. Do people find those hot? I don't know.
um, I don't find them hot. I find them to have a level of spice that I don't enjoy. I mean, I actually like Fireball whiskey. Now, the best drink I ever had that involved Fireball was Fireball and cream soda.
Oh, that
Delicious,
does sound good.
so good.
Yeah. No, but this is like this, but this one is actually a spicy. It's actually like a spicy rum. It says like it can cause irritation to mouth. That's why I was like, it's a drink. It can cause irritation to mouth and to skin.
And
And
sphincter.
well, apparently, she's like, that's what she was like. Well, there goes my digestive system. So, as it said, if you have like in like gut problems, things like that, don't drink it. If you like a heart, like you have a heart condition, don't drink it.
So if you were on a cruise and they had it on the ship and it was a part of your drink package, you would try it, right?
Probably, but like this stuff, literally,
Especially if there was a mojito with it.
possibly, but like there's like it comes in this it comes with 2 shot glasses, and basically they say it actually has levels on there. So like if you do the full shot glass, it's gangster. Do like I think it was because it was broken up into 3 parts. So if you drank all of it, it was gangster. If you drank 2/3, it was baller, and then I think, and then I don't remember if it was Worcester or something like that down at the. If you
I
only
don't
drink
see
1/3.
rum doing well in the hood, so I'm a little surprised.
Well, no, and it was actually, but it wasn't gangsta. I said I added the A apostrophe. No, it was gangster. It was with the ER.
Even then, like to me, the sayings or the verbs being used there, it's more like
Well, I don't know. It was just, and so like just watch it. She said, "Oh, we're gonna do the whole thing," and they did. And then they were just like, it doesn't go, the spice doesn't go away. And I was like, yeah.
I need a milk back with that.
Maybe not.
That sounds terrible.
Maybe not. And actually, hey, have you heard of, what was the name of that stuff? Oh, dang it. It was one of the free items you can get yesterday at Terrible's. I went with, I got the other one, but it's like this light lift it's something milk, and basically I was trying to find it in the cooler because I wanted to at least see what it was, but they had some at the counter, and I looked at it, and it's actually lactose free, but they have like chocolate and strawberry, and it's caffeinated. I was like, who decided to put caffeine in milk? But it was lactose free, like I said. So that I was like, oh, okay. So I could technically have it if I wanted, but I just went with the StarKist because I haven't had StarKist orange in forever, and it was free. So
You know what I realized? This basically tastes like an AMF.
Oh.
Yes, it's basically a slightly sweeter AMF.
Yeah. Properly made AMFs are apparently not as good as like
No, a proper AMF is terrible.
Yeah, like they've been the ones they've been making us at bars and stuff have been not. They've been AMFs, but not full AMFs. Like
yeah,
they've been AMF light.
Well, and the one thing about an AMF that usually gets missed is the topper, which is supposed to be a float of 151. But So today, I mentioned, I had my teeth cleaning done. So now I've had both sides of my mouth done. So my teeth are officially clean. Now let's see if I can keep it up. And I did a lot today, actually. I went and did that. Then I went over to the chiropractor and got cracked. Then I went over and got my hair cut, all of them. And then I went over to visit Carson City. So visit Carson
Where are
City.
they?
So they are in Carson City.
Duh.
They are, do you remember where the Nugget is?
Yeah.
So do you remember kitty corner from the Nugget is the Nevada State Museum?
Yeah.
So there's a building right next to that, and they're in there.
Oh, okay.
So I went over to visit Carson City to talk to them about KaboomCon because they are sponsoring the event. And so we had a really good conversation. Jimmy Jones from Pop Culture Kaboom was there with me and also checking in right now.
Yeah.
So me, him, and shout out to Stu from Visit Carson City.
Stu.
Stu is he's our main contact there. And we also met with another gentleman. I believe his name was Trevor. He is their main videographer and social media guy. And so
Nice.
he's going to be coming to KaboomCon to do a lot of videotaping to help make some videos as we move forward into the future. I'm also going to send him some of the video footage that we have from last year and probably get some stuff put together. But it was a good conversation. We talked about KaboomCon this year and what we've got lined up. And we talked about potentially looking to get some other events organized in the future, as well as including KaboomCon in the future. So the future is bright, my friend, for 97 Dow Productions. It's all up to us.
Nice. Oh, actually, you know what I did forget to say? I had my interview with Jimmy.
Oh, yes, you were on the radio this last week.
Yeah. I forgot.
I tuned in. I listened.
Almost forgot. How did I forget about that?
Jimmy asked me, him and I talked Monday night, and he asked me, how it went. And before I go into that, he said that Visit Carson City seemed really excited, and I would agree. I really appreciate what those guys are doing there. And they really are trying to make Carson City more of a place to be for events and to bring people from outside of Carson City to Carson City. And, I think Carson City gets the bad rub because it is at best the third most known city in Nevada. It's hard when you've got, Las Vegas and Reno.
And then part of Lake Tahoe.
Well, and then, a lot of people associate Lake Tahoe or Laughlin or Elko.
Elko.
Text yellow goal. Thank you, Daryl.
Oh,
Whatever that is.
He's putting in, for some reason, is that an emoji?
I don't know. I'd have to. I guess I could switch over to YouTube and see what it shows up as, but anyways, so I talked to Jimmy on Monday about the interview, and I said, I think it was good. I wish James was more refined, because you have you have that tendency to kind of stammer and stutter a little bit if you're not crystal on something. If you just have enough knowledge to be dangerous, which, a lot of his questions, you were totally fine when it came to talking about Oak Bridge, but the moment he started asking you about KaboomCon specifics and stuff like that, you could tell you were trying to read probably off your phone or something.
Yeah, I was trying to read some of that stuff because I was I read it earlier. I had read it earlier.
And yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I sent him talking points.
I'd read it earlier and I was like, oh,
you're welcome.
I'm not trying to get all these, but yeah. So, that was the part because I hadn't known we were going to talk about. I kind of heard we were going to talk about KaboomCon, so I was thankful that you sent that stuff. But I was more.
The only reason I sent you that is because I had talked to him the day or two before, and he had mentioned he sent a message. Hey, is James ready to be able to talk about this? And I'm like, Probably not.
Yeah, because I just was coming to I thought we were just gonna talk about Oak Bridge and stuff, but no, like it was cool. I can't remember the lady that was there helping him out. She was awesome as well. Rob called in, so so that was nice and
Yes,
everything.
they did make sure to announce on their show that they both are guest voice actors on Oak Bridge season 2.
Yeah.
Way
So,
to give themselves shameless plugs.
Hey.
We've got Daryl calling out Winnie Mucka.
Winnemucca, isn't that what it's called?
Yes.
Winnemucca.
There's a lovely episode of American Dad, if you've never seen it, where Roger the alien, one of his characters or personas that he has is actually a state senator for Nevada, and he has to go check in, and so Steve goes with him, and they come across this guy who's got like a really big hat and he's really short, and Roger ultimately punts him, but he's like, I represent the fine people of Winnemucca. So anytime I hear of that town, it's hard for me to not think of that moment.
Right.
And Jimmy does say 95% of the conversation was about Oak Bridge, which is a true statement.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know about 95, but okay. And I know Daryl also even tuned in to hear your interview.
Oh.
So he doesn't often listen to the Pop Culture Kaboom, but I know he tuned in for that. We've got the troll checking in. I'm sure that's not the first time Jimmy has been plug head.
Hey, Jesus.
Wow. James did rep the brand well.
No.
I know I've already drank a half a cup of this, but
Apparently he's also drinking the same stuff.
yes. Well, Daryl is a nightly bottle of wine drinker. And Jimmy says, you're right, 98.1%. I don't know about that. Maybe 95.1. KNBC. Well, and I don't have the date readily in front of me, but since Jimmy is here, maybe he could look at his date book. I will be going on to Pop Culture Kaboom in the future in August, few weeks before Kaboom Con to be in studio and do the full 3 hours. And what in the world are you doing?
I couldn't crumbs. Hold on, sorry.
You sound like I sounded after I had my teeth done this morning. You should have seen me. Like it was. Now that was a shamelessly plugged. Man, nobody knows how to talk right today, right?
Yeah. Everybody must be doing talks to text. No,
August
I was
10th
eating.
is evidently when I'm going to be on Pop Culture Kaboom for the full
Nice.
3 hours.
I had cookies that were they're very crumbly. And so I had crumbs left on the napkin. That's why I was just getting the crumbs up. But no,
So this is legitimately me trying to smile right after.
you got two-faced mouth.
No, well, I mean, if you look at it more closely, like look at the eye. One's a bigger than the other, right? And then here's a little while after. I'm like trying to do a full smile as big as I can.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.
You can tell one side of your mouth is definitely shut down.
Yeah. It's rough. And Daryl says he's drinking Guinness, the weakest beer there is.
It's actually apparently one of the healthier beers from the way it's brewed. Like it's apparently calorie wise.
Sure, but it is also alcohol wise one of the weakest beers you can buy at a bar.
Oh, well. It's tasty.
So we mentioned you were on Pop Culture Kaboom talking about Oak Bridge, which is a perfect transition to talking about Oak Bridge. Season 2, Episode 1, The Gold Foil. And, of course, this is the fabulous artwork done by Jam the Artist. And when are we premiering?
That will be July 11th. That was
11.
July 11th, the premiere.
And where can people listen to it?
Wherever you listen to podcasts.
So every
And
major
if-
podcast
and-
platform out there, and even some of the minor ones.
Yeah, and if for some reason you can't find it, hit us. Like I said, hit
Let us
up.
know.
Let us know. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, but I'm excited. I've already got episode 1 loaded onto Podbean, ready to release. And for those of you who don't know, Podbean is a platform that pushes out to dozens of other platforms, and so it's nice. It's a good tool. So it is fully loaded, ready to go, locked and loaded. Because it's not changing. We've got the artwork; it's right there. We've got the mix done. I listened to it the other night, and I will tell you this: the runtime on the premiere episode of season 2 is over an hour.
Lock in.
Yeah, get ready.
But actually, I can say I think our shortest episode this season is 30. Like from start to end, I believe is like 37.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season. We've got, I would say it's probably going to time in at about 9, maybe just under 9 hours of content.
Yeah.
So
plus we will have another blooper reel.
Looking forward to that as always. July 11th, Jeff will be here in Carson for Silver Age Comic Con. Get your tickets now. Why are we supporting that?
Yeah. Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. That's cool.
So Jeff will be coming up with the big dog. He'll be staying at the Atlantis Casino Resort and Spa.
Right across with the
He'll
walkway.
be able to take the Sky Bridge over to the event.
Should be able to just ride the dog across the street. But,
Why would he go across the street when he could go across the Sky Bridge?
Hi-ho, Silver! Away!
And Tyra says, what you guys think about Carnival killing its rewards program? Well, here's what I think about Carnival killing its rewards program. I don't give a darn.
Section
You know
prison,
why?
baby.
Because I'm an NCL guy.
Carnival.
Give me that Norwegian life.
Carnival, isn't that like the...
That's
that
the
like the
Section 8 of the
Is that Spirit?
of the seas.
Spirit of the Sea?
Yeah. Yeah,
Bro, and what was that? Isn't that what that film is about on there?
Yes, that was a Carnival cruise.
The one on the Netflix documentary?
Yes, the S show at sea or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. When the cruise dies and then the toilets start backing up and flooding the lower decks and stuff.
And Tyrus calls out that he loves the art on this one.
Yeah.
I love the art on all of them, and I'm not going to show off any more art until the Wednesday before the episode. So this is the only one you get until after episode 1 releases.
And we've shown you the other art. We've shown you the season,
The movie poster art and stuff.
Yeah.
But I agree. I love the art. I'm excited to be printing off a huge banner for Jam to have at Silver Age and other events. The guy is amazing. He's killing it. And I'm
100%.
super excited because when he comes up here for Silver Age, because 97 and Now Productions and Icy Sound Comics will be at Silver Age, he is bringing up some of where he's at with the Oak Bridge season 1 graphic novel.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So I'm very excited to see where we're at with that. Going back to the Carnival rewards program, it gives a new meaning to the term poop deck.
100%.
So one of the things Tyrus was talking about, just so that everybody's on the same page. So Carnival had a rewards program where, you cruise certain amount of days or whatever, you move up in status. And it kind of never ended. You could do 10 cruises over 10 years and you'd still keep that status. Or you could do 10 cruises over 20 years and you'd still keep that status. Well, now Carnival has decided that your status is only based on the last, I think, 24 months or something like that. So 2 years or 3 years, something like that. So if you're not cruising with them all the
Constantly?
time, then you're never going to get to a high status. And so I understand the frustration Tyrus has because he has gone on some cruises with them, and so he's losing potentially some of that status. But this is all part of the game, right? And that's why Carnival is Section 8 of the seas.
I've never. I was supposed to go on a Carnival cruise a number of years ago, but I never did just because of whatever happened. But
yeah, one of my coworkers is about to go on a Virgin cruise, and he's talking to me about it, and I get it that if you and he's a single man. I get that there might be an appeal there because it is 21 and up on those cruises. So there's no kids and yada yada. But I don't know. Even before I had a kid, that wasn't what would necessarily be appealing to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Before I had a kid, I probably would have never gone on a Disney cruise because those are kid focused, family focused, where NCL or Royal Caribbean or some of those other major cruise lines, while they allow kids, they're not necessarily kid focused or family focused. So to me,
Disney is.
The thing I also don't like about Virgin is that there is no drink package.
Yeah, that's the problem with some of these cruises. Like Disney cruises don't have drink packages.
Do they do the same thing as Virgin, where you can do a tab where you can say, "Oh, hey, I'm putting 5," and the drinks are cheap, but you.
Oh, I don't really know because I mean, when I did the Disney cruise, I did it.
You were a minor still. So.
I was just graduated high school, but the sodas, I think they had something for the sodas or something like that, but so that but yeah, anything else, it was you get at the end. It's yo, I don't like that. I want to be able to. I want to be able to. Yike! Don't ever do that again. Don't I kind of want to. I want to be able to know what my bill's going to be, kind of type deal. I already want to know.
You want to know what you're putting your mouth on before you put your mouth on it. I get it. That's what she said. Anyways.
Hi-oh.
Got a shout out, new vendor coming in hot. Pop Thrash coming back for the second year. Excited to have Pop Thrash coming.
Nice.
They got a lot of cool artwork. I mean, a lot of it is replica artwork, but they also do some custom. See if we can zoom in a little bit so you can see some of what's going on here. Super Mario Brothers 3, Pokemon cards, things of that nature. But then they also have their little fur babies, and they have a fantastic booth. It's well organized. They had a great booth last year. I'm excited to have them back. I wish they would have signed up sooner so they could have had the discount, but I'm excited to have them back either way. Pop Thrash coming in hot. And while we're talking about KaboomCon 2, I'm going to be posting this here very soon. But this is going to be the KaboomCon 2 kickoff to Halloween. Cosplans. What are you wearing? So this is where, ideally we're going to put this out there and we want people to, post it and, use the hashtags and everything. And hey, this is what I'm going to wear to the Friday night Ghostbusters screening. This is what I'm going to wear to the Ghosts and Ghouls Masquerade Ball. And here's what I'm going to wear to Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. I was like, why is it blank?
Why are there blank squares? Yes. So that's for that's for the people who are going to use this to put pictures either of themselves in their cosplay costume, or, you could throw a picture of Egon and a picture of a spooky ghost or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Now I got it.
I'm not announcing anyone officially tonight, but I am excited to let you know that we have 2 cosplayers that have competed nationwide that are going to be coming to KaboomCon and will be judges for our cosplay contest day 1 and day 2. And I'm finalizing that information. I will also tell you I am in talks We'll see if I can make it happen for this year. But I am currently in talks with someone that was in a Star Wars film to be at KaboomCon. I'll leave it at that. I haven't even told you this.
Okay.
Jimmy knows about it.
Star Wars film.
Star Wars film.
Just one. No,
I will
not
be
more.
specific. I will even tell you what film they were in.
Oh.
Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
So I am in talks with someone who was in Star Wars Return of the Jedi.
Oh.
We'll
Nice.
see. We'll see if we can make this happen. I am trying. So I'm waiting on a response from them.
Use your power.
You will never understand
And the powers of the dark
Dark
side.
side. Oh, dark side, yes. Yes, you control the dark side. I control the fat side. So I am waiting to hear from them. Ultimately, the truth of the matter is, the hard part with running a convention. This is a reality that I'm just going to put out there because, I'm not. The one thing you'll never get from me is fake. I am always honest. I am always real. And the hard part about running a convention is you don't know what your ticket sales are going to look like until about a week out. If I was to base how I think this convention is going to do off of ticket sales as of right now, I'd be like, this is a waste of money. Now, have we sold tickets? Absolutely. Do I know we're going to sell more tickets? Absolutely. Yeah. But it seems like for whatever reason, it might be a locale thing, it might be a convention thing, I don't know. But it seems like the tickets don't move until about 2 weeks out. And it kills me.
Yeah, no.
It absolutely kills me.
I've been telling people because there was a big Magic the Gathering convention out here.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a bunch of people coming through, and when we were checking their bags and I saw they had Magic cards in there, I was like, yo, hey, if this is something you're interested in, pull out your phone, go to 97 Now Productions. And I also told them about KaboomCon on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, yo, check that out, see if if that's something you'll be interested in, because some of them were kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, yo, if there's something you like to do and you like going to conventions, we got this con. It's still new, so you should come. If you want to come check it out, it's where
we've
go.
got Three Arrows Games that's running the game room, and there
Yeah.
will be tournaments and stuff in there, so that's going to be exciting. Tyra says we should have the Star Wars guy sit in the Star Trek chair. I'm all for it. And I'm sure Dreamwell Comics would love that too.
Yeah.
We've got Daryl saying more like Spaceballs instead of Star Wars. Actually, it's kind of funny that Daryl brings that up. So today, when Jimmy and I from Pop Culture Kaboom, when we were meeting with Visit Carson City and talking to them about this year, he said, "Hey, is there any chance of you guys trying to get somebody from one of the Ghostbuster films?" And I said, "Look, I'm going to be straight up with you. We tried. I aggressively tried on one specific actor, one of the 4 original Ghostbusters, and they wanted, in my opinion, an absurd amount of money. And it wasn't just that. If it was just that, maybe I would have done it. But they wanted a lot of money, and that didn't include their travel, transportation, food, per diem, and to have a lackey at their side for the entire event.
Which I still don't understand.
For that lackey's travel and everything.
Yeah, like that is a grown person that is coming. Like I could understand if it was maybe like a kid actor and the parent had to come or whatever, but this is just some random person who goes with, like, I'm not paying for them. They can pay for them own themselves. Like,
well, and I can provide, if you want your talent to have somebody hand holding them the entire event, I'll put James with them. It's not like James does anything at this event anyways. So I'm sorry, what are you doing this year, James?
I don't know what I'm doing this year, actually. I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So as of right now, you're not doing anything. Because Jimmy's running the panels and the main stage and the boardroom. And so, yeah. Brian, our dam checking in.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Brian is our damn designated audience member. Going back to the early days of Fat and Black Connection, he says you could do ticket incentives for early purchasers. I will tell you this, Brian, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. We will be doing that as we move into the future. It's a little late at this point. We're less than 3 months out.
Yeah.
But I definitely see value in doing that, and we will be doing that as we proceed.
As we proceed to give you what you need.
Daryl checking in. That how it is. People tend to wait till last minute, waiting for something better to come along. It's an American condition. And I can validate this. And you know what? I shared this story with you earlier today. There is a food vendor in Carson City. I'm not going to say who they are. They done pissed me off. And here's the thing. I am the type of person that, how did Aaron Burr say it in Hamilton? I am slow to anger, right? I don't.
It wasn't that musical theater, but whatever.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I don't get pissed easily. But when I get pissed, you're dead to me. And here's the thing. If I come to you 6 months, 9 months before an event and say, hey, we want you there. I'm willing to give you a space for free because I want you there. And you tell me, hey, I'm interested, I'm on board, but we don't book this far out. Hit me up about 3 months out. Okay, that's fine.
Now, also, mind you, I was trying to get in contact with them a couple weeks ago. Problem is that the number that is on the website or on the web page that I was looking at didn't connect to anything. I tried to contact it through Facebook Messenger, and I got zero response.
Mm-hmm. So I finally I've got the owner's direct contact from last year. And so I hit him up and I was like, hey, we're about 3 months out. Oh, hey, what are the dates again? Is the response. I said, September 19th to the 21st. Oh, you know what? I can only do the 19th. I'm already booked for the 20th and 21st.
Mother.
Dead to me. I will never, like, as far as I'm concerned, you're dead to me. I will never try ever again.
Yeah, because I had mentioned, I was like, oh, yeah, I still haven't been able to get in contact with him, and then he's like, oh, don't worry about it. I contacted him, and it did.
Yeah. I used a lot more harsh language than that,
but
yeah. I try not to be a Karen, but if you get me to that point, and again, I'm not, as you know, James, you've worked with me for a long time. I am the type of person where I will trust you until you give me a reason not to. But the moment you give me a reason not to, there is almost zero chance you're ever going to get it back. And similar here, I am very slow to get upset, but once you've gotten me to that point, you're dead. You're dead to me. I'm just not going to waste my time ever again. Because as far as I'm concerned, you lied to me in that situation. And if you lie to me, I can't trust you. It would be one thing if they had just said, hey, we're not going to book this far out because maybe we'll get a wedding and we want to do that. And you know what? If when I messaged the other day, if that was the response, if they'd come back and said, hey, we really wanted to do your event, but unfortunately, we got this wedding or we got this massive event or whatever, I could be more inclined to understand. But when the response was very simply, hey, we're already booked for that day. Dead. You're dead to me.
You can maybe come next year, but you're paying. You're going to get nothing for free.
Oh, if I don't even know if because the nice thing about Eventany, and we'll talk about Eventany a little bit more in a moment, is that I can decline. I can just say, no, send them their money back. Get the hell out of here.
Interesting.
And honestly, with the way KaboomCon is growing, I genuinely think we're going to be at a point in the next year or two that we're going to have to turn people away. And I really don't want to do that because I'd love to have more space and I'd love to continue to grow. But, at the end of the day, there's only so much space we have to work with there. Now, one of the questions I was asked today, Jimmy can attest to this, was, have you thought about this other facility? And I'll tell you, if we're able to grow KaboomCon and keep it going, we may have to at some point expand it to a second facility. But I think that the Carson City Community Center is always going to be our home base. That's where, that's going to be the prime spot. It's got the theater, it's got the boardroom, it's got those 2 other rooms that we can use for gaming or whatever. It's such a great small space. It is not this massive convention center that you have in Reno or in San Diego or something like that. It is the whole point of KaboomCon is it is, how did I describe it last year in an article? I think I called it a entry level con. If you're con curious,
yeah.
Yes,
Come check it out. See if
you've never been to a convention, this is the perfect place to get your start. Hell, if you've been to a convention and you want to get that vibe of the old conventions, this is the con to come to, because a lot of these cons today really it's money grabs.
You can't, from what I understand, it's hard to even see all of it.
Well, not only that, but I'm not trying to rag on anybody, any other promoter or organizer, but a lot of what I see is these organizers that are just trying to pack in as many booths as they can, because every booth to them is a dollar sign. And to me, I want to get vendors in there, because the more vendors we have, the more tickets we'll sell, yada, yada. But as I can tell you, and I'll show you the books, we didn't make any money last year. We're probably not going to make any money this year. It's not about making money. It's about a good time. And that's what I genuinely care about. And James, your favorite, we got Run to Z checking in, best viewers on Streamboo, space.com, remove the space. No? You don't want to go check out Streamboo?
No.
Have you ever looked at it? We've had that show up so many times.
We've had it over the past number of at least that's been this year. I don't remember it so much.
I'm just surprised. Usually we get that on Kick. This is through Twitch.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize we were on Twitch though. But no,
Runt Eyes.
Yeah, no, I mean Streamboo. I don't even.
Sounds Russian to me.
Streamboo.
Anyways, we got our final, and it literally is called the final trailer from the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I want to know. Originally, when they first started doing the trailers for this film, they had said that in the trailers that they were going to show, they were only going to show footage from the first 30 minutes of the film.
That's a lot. If that's a lot, there's a whole lot going on in the first 30 minutes of the film, if that's the case.
And that's what I'm wondering, because if they held true to that everything that we've seen in any trailer is only in the first 30 minutes, there is a lot going on in that first 30 minutes. Because there are a ton of rumors out there of what we may see at the end of the film.
I'm not looking at any of that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say any of it here, because this is not. For those of you that are new to this show, we're not a big fan of rumors. We'll talk about them occasionally. Our main thing is talking about reality and facts. And Jimmy brings up the Thing with a beard. And yes, in this trailer, we do indeed see Thing with a beard, which is interesting because every other trailer we had seen prior did not show that.
I didn't see it.
It's not a beard. It is a rock beard, to be clear.
Oh.
But you definitely, and it is comic book accurate, right? There are some comics out there where Thing has a rock beard. Except in the comics, it's actually more like distinct. It's coming down.
How do you shave that? Like, you just gotta just chisel it?
Chisel that.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. This is the first MCU film I've been excited for, genuinely excited for, probably since either Multiverse of Madness or Spider-Man No Way Home.
I mean, I've been excited for all of them. Well, okay. Like,
you were excited for Thor,
Love and Thunder?
Love and Thunder?
Yeah, I was excited for it because I was coming off of because of
You
how
were expecting some epic adventure with the Guardians.
well, no, because how Ragnarok was. That's what I was. That's what I was excited about, and then
You were excited for the Marvels?
Oh yeah, I was excited for that only because of I had watched Miss Marvel, and actually I really enjoyed that series. But
You were excited for Thunderbolts?
yeah, again, I was excited for these. I was, I wasn't always happy with the way they, I wasn't always happy with them, like, but
I don't know. Part of me wants to go back and find the footage from when we talked about these movies. I don't remember you being excited about most of these, but doesn't matter. And Jimmy does call out. It's a good thing that the Thing is dating a sculptor.
Oh yeah, she's blind, right?
Mm. And James was coming off some kind of drugs if he was excited about that one. And I assume he's talking about the Marvels.
Yeah, everybody, all y'all be hating on stuff, man.
Have you gone back and rewatched it?
No.
So clearly you didn't like it that much.
No, I said I was excited for them, but then
what were you excited about when it came to the Marvels?
Oh, it's just to see, because the way that Miss Marvel sees like the ending, like with Miss Marvel popping up, and I was trying to figure out, how's that going to roll into them
popping up?
That's it. I mean, yeah, Captain Marvel popping up, like the door blowing out, stuff like that, and it's good to see Samuel L. Jackson back again. So, but yeah,
Sammy L. Jackson, by the way.
Sammy, I don't know. But anyways, I was excited for the movie, and then when I saw it, I still liked it, but I wasn't like, I was still a little, disappointed in the final product, but I was excited to go see it. And then with the Thunderbolts, I think because I'd been watching just stuff leading up to it, not nothing like spoilery, but just some of the videos and stuff they were doing behind the scenes, some of the backstage clips and things like that I'd seen. And then, but yeah, I kind of got excited for that. And then I enjoyed the Thunderbolts as well.
I will say I was juiced for Deadpool Wolverine, but to me, it's hard because while yes, it is MCU official,
it's not.
It was, but it was the first soiree for that property, and to me, since phase, what are we in? 5?
Are we out of 4?
Yes, I think we're in phase 5. I would say that Deadpool Wolverine was the best of phase 5, and I would, for Jimmy to say Thunderbolts wasn't bad. Remember, Jimmy is one of the harshest critics I've ever come across when it comes to just about anything.
Yeah,
he's even more of a, not more of. Tyrus is the biggest contrarian I know, but Jimmy's pretty close. I thought Thunderbolts was good. It was not amazing, but I thought Thunderbolts did a fantastic job with what it had. And considering it was a film where the main villain, in my opinion, was mental illness, it was great. And I hate that saying. It wasn't that bad. I hate that saying. It's like, oh, so it's not good, right? It wasn't that bad. Meaning it was less bad than I thought it was going to be, but it was still bad.
Yeah, I mean, I had no thought that this movie was going to be bad.
I wasn't looking forward to Thunderbolts. I'll be honest.
Oh.
I was going to see it because I was going to see it because it's MCU. But I had no expectations. I had no high hopes, and it turned out. Again, I will not say it was a great film, but for especially MCU of the last 3 years, it was good.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed Thunderbolts.
If we're looking at MCU films specifically over the last three years since Endgame, it's definitely in the top 3.
Yeah,
and 1 and 2 is No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness, in my opinion. And Jeff, rightfully says, there's a panel, Jimmy and Tyrus, shot we hate. I assume it's shows we hate or movies we hate. I think Jimmy and Tyrus, that's the Fat and Black show I want to watch. Except Jimmy's not fat. Tyrus covers both areas. We need to figure out a different title, I guess. But I think Jimmy and Tyrus, that would be a very entertaining show to me. Because Tyrus is extremely opinionated and not, the few times that you haven't been here and I've had Tyrus fill in for you, I've enjoyed the show. I think it's done well. Even when Tyrus, for like a hot minute, tried to do his own thing, I don't even remember what that was called. And Brian, I know that you haven't always been here because you got married and stuff and ditched us for a while. Anytime Tyrus is on, it is fatter and blacker.
I think he was around for those.
But yeah, I think Tyrus and Jimmy, that could make for some really good entertainment, frankly. And Jeff says that's the podcast we got to get signed. I agree. Jimmy, Tyrus, I will sign on to producing that show right now. Even if it's like a 30-minute a week episode of just the two of you ragging on everything, I think that would be entertaining. Because I think the amount of hate, and maybe that's what the show is called, hate-filled rage, or I don't know, like the two of those guys.
Hated it. 3 snaps in a Z formation.
Mm-hmm. And Brian says, I've seen Tyrus. Very entertaining. Agreed. Tyrus is entertaining. He does just drive a bus, but he can be entertaining. I will give him that. And Jimmy says he's down. What say you, Tyrus?
Where you at?
I don't know if he's still here, but can we call it Wheels on Carson? Oh, I like Brian's name better. A teaspoonful of hate. How about just a teaspoon of hate?
Oh, there it is. Right there.
Just a teaspoon of hate. And Tyrus is down. We need to make this happen. This is the podcast we didn't know we needed. I don't know
Let's go.
I don't know if it's the buzzball talking, but I'm all for this. By the way, is this my second or third?
Oh, I didn't even realize you finished.
Oh yeah, I finished one at least. I just can't tell by looking at the bottle. I think.
I feel like that's just still from the first one.
No. This is at least my second. All right. So Jimmy, Tyrus, I'm going to organize a call. Make that happen. Getting back on track. So I don't want to go into spoilers or anything like that because this did just drop today. James, have you watched episodes 1 through 3 of Ironheart?
Yes.
I thought you probably had. And because of that, I watched them as well. And I don't want to go into spoilers because I want to recognize that other people haven't probably watched all 3 episodes yet. We're insane. And before we do that, package, we gotta film this Kaboom weekend. I agree. So Jimmy, Tyrus, we got to get some footage of the two of you guys doing stuff, whatever. Tyrus, if you can, make your way up for Silver Age Comic-Con because Jimmy will be there all weekend. We can get some stuff then. And Brian, hey, when are you all coming back down to the homeland? Why doesn't he just say the fatherland? He is a white German descent kind of guy. I don't know if that's true. I'm just making that up. When are you all coming back down to the homeland to check out my band? The interesting thing about that comment, Brian, is that I did make an offer a while back for 97 to Now Productions to make a sponsorship to your band and to help pay for your band to come up and perform because you had told me there was a Northern Nevada contest that you had looked at. So James and I, 97 Now Productions, would love to see your band.
Plus, it's from our old alma mater, bro. So
Alma mater.
Alma mater.
I'm the one drinking the buzzball. Where are you at?
That's alma mater.
Mater.
I said alma mater.
Alma.
That's what I said.
Alma.
Alma mater.
Alma.
Alma
mater.
mater. That's what I said.
That's not what I heard.
Oh, well.
And Jeff says Tyrus in a cowboy hat.
Jeez.
Never seen it. Would love to see it.
With the dreads, with the dreads hanging out.
And Brian says, I am not actually. I don't know. There's a delay. Brian says, I am looking at taking the band to the Reno Jazz Festival. Let me know. You've got my phone number. You know how to get in contact with me. Let me know what we can do to help make that happen. I support it. I'm there. I want to make it happen. 97 Now Productions supports. We will do it. Let me know what we can do. We fully support. I will make James fly up here for it.
What is watermelon?
He's had too much watermelon. It's this lotion that they have now. It's watermelon scented, but you rub it on. And really, you're only supposed to put it on the ashy bits, like your elbows, James. You know all about that. Anyways, Ironheart.
Watermelon.
Malone. Ironheart. So we have the episode guide up. June 25th today. Episodes 1 through 3 dropped. Next Wednesday, episodes 4 through 6 will drop. Again, we're not going to get into spoilers or anything like that. I will say I was not looking forward to this series at all. And the one thing that I will say is I liked it more than I expected. I don't love it. I don't think it's amazing. We're 3 episodes in, and I think it has surprised me. I will absolutely say that. There are some things in this series. If you are an MCU fan and you have watched everything along the way and you know everything about the MCU, there were some surprises in this thing. And I'm really wanting to see where episode 4 picks up from the end of episode 3, because there are some things that happen.
Yeah.
But James, this is Black Culture. Please go ahead.
No, I mean, I've been waiting for this show since I kind of heard about it. But I thoroughly enjoyed them. Yes, and there were definitely some surprises in there. Like you said, if you've been watching since the jump, there's a lot of little nods from the entire Gambit, I guess you can say.
Gambit.
But yeah, I think I've enjoyed it so far. Yeah, and then they leave you with a cliffhanger on episode 3. So very interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a cliffhanger. I think that's a little bit much in my opinion.
It's like a cliffhanger for an episode, and this is like what they used to do on what they do on TV shows. They leave you wanting to come back. So like I said, I enjoyed these first 3 episodes, and I gotta go back, and there's something that I had a question about, which I need to go back and watch Wakanda Forever to figure out.
We can talk about it after the show.
Yeah.
And Jeff says, and I assume this is reference to the watermelon, the ashy elbows. Yep, it's for you people.
What do you mean by you people?
Brian says, wild. I still have your Dublin address on my phone. I can give you my new one. You know how to contact me. I know you have my phone number because I get text messages like once a year or something from you. And certainly, you know, my Facebook and all of that.
I am, and I am not. I am.
I am not.
Was I not white, Germanic, etc.? What? I know he mentioned the fatherland or something like that. But
Yes.
you said homeland.
He said homeland.
No, he said homeland, and you said, why don't you just call it the fatherland? Which I was kind of like,
yes. Anyways, keep it in line with the watermelon. Did you happen to check out this trailer for Washington Black?
I did.
Had you seen it before I posted it?
No.
See, that's where I'm like, I become immensely confused because one of the only reasons I even looked at this was because there was recently a television series called Black Jesus. And so when I saw Washington Black, I'm like, oh, is this a show where they basically rewrite history with George Washington as if he was black?
No, his name is George Washington Black.
So anyways, I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, you know what? James, not that I wouldn't like it. It's not a show that clearly is towards me. But I knew you probably would like this. And was I right?
Yeah. Yeah. I matter of fact, it's when we're done, I'm gonna go and put it on my go into my Disney Plus and put it on my watch list for Hulu.
So this I can't remember this gentleman's name.
Oh yeah, he was on
he's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, most recently I think it was This Is Us, isn't it? Yeah.
No, most recently he was on another show where he played the president.
Oh, really?
I'm sorry. James Marsden was the president, and he was like the lead of his Secret Service detail.
Oh.
It was the one we talked about it on this show, and I watched the first few episodes. It's basically they knew that the world was coming to an end, and they created an underground society. Did you not watch this at all?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't watch it. I think was that him, or was I thinking of another show?
Sterling K. Brown. Hold on, I'm pulling up.
I don't know if that's the same show. I think it's something else. Yeah, that's his name, Sterling K. Brown. That's right. There was a show that I should have marked to watch, but I don't think I marked it to my watch list.
I'm pulling up his IMDb. I don't know why my internet is going crazy slow right now. Anyways, I do like Sterling K. Brown. So the first time I was ever exposed to him, I've talked about it here before, but one of my favorite television series of all time is The West Wing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of the characters, his name is Leo McGarry. And unfortunately, the actor who played Leo McGarry had died. And this was, 10 years later or whatever. And they were doing a West Wing reunion on HBO where they were going to reenact an entire episode. And they brought in Sterling K. Brown to play Leo. And I think he did a fantastic job. I think he really, portrayed the character in a way that was respectful. And the show I was talking about before with him is Paradise.
Okay, he is in that. Okay, that's the name of it. I couldn't remember. I thought I remember seeing it up, and I was like, oh, I need to check that out, and then I just kept.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes of that show, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I never got back around to it, and I kind of feel bad for that now.
Yeah,
but this Washington Black show, James, tell the people about the trailer and why they might want to watch it.
I just think I found it kind of interesting. It's a there's parts that are true, based on the Underground Railroad and things like that. But I mean, some of it's based on a novel too. So some of it's
a little bit of fantasy meets.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fantasticalness about it. Like there's this airship, and he's like this kid George Washington Black. He's like super smart, invention wise, things like that. So his master takes a real interest in him.
Master.
Well, it's there in slavery, so takes a real interest in his genius. He's an artist, he's an inventor, so he's kind of this brilliant mind. And then it looks like basically they escape, and then from what it seems is that then there's some kind of bounty hunters or something looking for him years later. So I don't know if because he's considered a runaway or whatever. They didn't really get into all that, but yeah, it looks like there's some kind of bounty on him or whatnot. So I definitely like I said, I plan on putting this in my watch list to make sure I go through this one and check it out.
So I want to give a quick shout out. So we had here on this show recently talked about Silver Age Comic Con and that we will be there, Icy Sound Comics, and that we will have some new stickers. And I showed off the artwork here. And those stickers finally arrived.
Oh, nice. So
there is the tangible asset. Thank you, sticker app. So we've got 3 different pieces. So get your Mickey, Fantastic Worlds of Steamboat Willie.
Mm-hmm. Get your stickers right.
So we will be selling those $2 a piece or $5 for all 3. We got Tyrus checking in. I just watched the trailer for Toxic Avenger with Peter Dinklage, the dwarf. I'm definitely going to see this. Looks gory and funny. I was not aware this was happening.
Yeah, I just happened to run across the trailer this afternoon. I remember the original.
Is it legit?
It's legit. It looks like I don't know if they're just going for that retro feel from like the old film, because I remember seeing the old film, and the old film was kind of whatever. And then there was the cartoon Toxic Avengers, which that one I kind of liked because it was also animated, so it wasn't as gory or B film horror as the first Toxic Avengers. It's not really B film. It's not really a horror film, but whatever. And this one has the same feel. I didn't finish watching the trailer. I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'll see this or not. But
who is making this? I'm not.
It Legendary. What happened?
Clicked the wrong button. Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like one of the producers or the Legendary. Is one of the producers. It was like the last producer that was on the film. Everything else I had never even heard of before.
Interesting. Yeah, because one of the things that I do here is especially Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I go through and I check for anything that might be relevant. Legendary.
Mm-hmm.
To see, hey, is there something we need to be posting about or whatever?
Some people might be interested in that. I watched like a couple, like I watched like a little bit of it. I mean, maybe it was like halfway, but I was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, there is nothing. So I'm on the official Legendary page. And the last time they posted anything officially about this.
No, I said, well, like I said, one of the producers was Legendary. It wasn't like that. They were like the last one when they were scrolling through the like the makers of the film or whatever. Hold on. Let me see if it's still on my
Trauma Entertainment. Is that legit?
This was from 2 days ago. This one was from 5. Yeah, Trauma Entertainment.
I'm going to lean into Jimmy on this one. I don't know if he's still out there, but Jimmy, if you're still out there, let me know if there is a actual legit, because I do see a Red Band trailer
Yeah, ING has it. Are they do? They're not doing this, are they?
starring Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood. Are they doing what?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
And Brian does say, and then there was the musical. Yes, there was indeed. The Toxic Avenger musical to me is about on par with the Evil Dead musical, which I know Brian has worked on. Or it's kind of in that same vein of like Rocky Horror Picture Show, which
Evil Dead musical is actually pretty funny. I did see that.
I'm not questioning whether it's funny or not. It's more of a really, this is a musical?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'm a musical theater guy. You kind of are. I'm more so than you. And there are just some things that don't make sense as musical theater. And I'm not, Carrie was an example of that was turned into musical theater. Or,
Was
Toxic,
it?
yeah, Toxic
Yeah.
Avenger is another example. And Jimmy says Elijah Wood looks like Riff Raff from Rocky Horror in the stupid Toxic Avenger remake. So again, you guys can't hear this. This is what I'm seeing. I'm muting it on my end because I don't even want to listen to it. This appears to be theoretically an actual trailer for this Toxic Avenger. I don't even know. It just seems like a lot of quick shots. Let's just keep things moving. James,
Huh?
your thoughts on what we're seeing?
I mean, I didn't. Like I said, I watched up to let's see, where did I stop watching? Coming up. I watched all this. How long is this trailer?
I have no idea.
Um
Oh, he looks like Schmiegel. Another 2 minutes.
yeah, no, I watched after this and all this stuff.
Oh, so Peter Dinklage is the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. I saw this part.
Yeah, we don't need to know what you saw. We just need to know what you think.
No, and that's why I'm saying that's why I stopped watching it. It was after, right after this, I stopped watching it. I was just kind of like, oh, I really don't care enough.
And Brian says the Toxic Avenger
right
musical
there.
was written by David Bryan of Bon Jovi. Well, considering I don't know anyone in Bon Jovi except for Bon Jovi, is he the guitarist? I don't know. I'm like, I'm so. Oh, hey, there is Kevin Bacon.
Greatest act.
I
Greatest
don't
actor.
understand why Elijah Wood looks like a cross between Riff Raff and the Penguin. And by Penguin, I mean Danny DeVito's Penguin.
Oh,
Okay, so evidently David Bryan is the keyboardist of Bon Jovi. Like the fourth or fifth thing I would have thought of. I don't know. I have no interest in this film. What do you think, James?
yeah. I mean, again, also not interested.
Yeah, I'm I don't even know. Tyra says it's credited on IMDb. For some reason, it says 2023 must have been delayed. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it's the film I don't need.
Yes, that's the Red Band trailer. And Tyra says, I have low expectations. It's the nostalgia for me.
I'm good with the nostalgia of just watching the 80s film. I don't need
Yeah,
to see the film.
yeah. Like I, I only watched that movie like one time. Actually, I remember watching it once. Did we watch it again? Can't remember if we watched it twice when we were like younger.
And Jimmy says, wasn't delayed. No one wanted to distribute it.
No. Then the Legendary was like, all right, I guess.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
That's why they're the last one on there. Here's some money.
I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I just don't have. I have like really no.
If you're a big Toxic Avenger person, do you have fun?
Like I said, I liked the cartoon that came out, in the 90s, but it was different. And I remember, I think they had a video game. I think there was a video game, but yeah, no, there wasn't anything like great, but I mean, like the movie was okay. I didn't hate it, but yeah, I have no interest in seeing this film. Even though I do like Peter Dinklage, and that's
I think Peter Dinklage is fine. The only thing I really know him, everybody's going to be like, "Oh, what about what was that HBO show?
Game of Thrones."
Yeah, I never watched it. What I know him for is his very brief, small role in Infinity War.
Oh, he was also the creator of the Sentinels and I believe it was Days of Futures Past, X-Men.
Oh, yeah.
He's done quite a bit of stuff. They did a remake of Cyrano.
Bergerac.
Yeah, they did a remake of that, but so instead of having the nose, he was a dwarf.
Well,
yeah.
Speaking of remakes and dwarfs, and we didn't open up this show with a civil civics, which I thought about doing. I do briefly kind of want to get your thoughts on what is going on in the world right now. Since the last time we met, a lot has happened. We've had the 12-day war, as it's being called, with Iran and Israel. We've had America bomb Iran, and now a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And we've had the president go to The Hague in the Netherlands to kind of, tell NATO to pony up 5% of GDP. What are you thinking about where our world is?
Let's just burn it all down, start over. It's time to rebuild it.
So you think it's time for a mass extinction event?
Just hit the reset button at this point. I don't know, man. Like it's just a mess. Yeah. I've just been kind of like, what in the world is going? Like, they're firing back and forth, and then like the bombing was like, why? And then just then there's the miscommunication. Then nobody's talking.
Did you say the bombing was why? Like you don't know why we bombed where we bombed, or
no? I know why it was bombed, but then at the same time, then there was miscommunications. There was miscommunications. Some people, even though they're in the same administration, apparently not talking to each other.
Elaborate, like expand on your thoughts. You got to tell us exactly what you're.
Well, no. So Trump apparently said that like these places have been destroyed, but that was after Hegseth and Vance, and I think somebody else said that it wasn't destroyed. And then like then what was it, yesterday or the day before? Was it yesterday? I think it was. Trump was pissed at Israel, and I mean he was pissed at both of them, but he was pissed at Israel. And I'm just like, what? Like, as long as, and then like Iran is like, they apparently sent a strike on one of our military bases, but that they realized that was coming, so they stopped that. Yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Well, and I think Jeff got it right. At least TSA ain't singing. That might be the first time he actually said something that is correct in totality and spot on. At least TSA ain't singing.
No, they beeped that out, but
And Trump dropping an F-bomb on TV, it wasn't censored when he actually first did it.
oh, okay. I guess I didn't see the original. I just saw the
Yes,
afterwards.
you watched it after the fact. And, it's nice, there are a lot of people that are pissy about him having done that, and I get it. But I also think it's nice to have a president that actually can formalize a thought that doesn't have to read off of a cue card. And it is saying what he thinks and feels.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you still in denial that you think Joe Biden was actually running?
No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying. I just like, honestly, we shouldn't even. I mean, I don't even. Personally, I don't think we should. Because I mean, hopefully, it doesn't get us into anything else. But I just think it's like there's so much that's going on that I don't know. I just feel just like, why? Like with, still you have, I mean, Israel, then like you're trying to fight, you're fighting here, but then you're also trying to fight here, and it's like, bro, don't you, I mean, even you shouldn't be really fighting that. You definitely should just stop fighting.
Are you talking about Israel is fighting multiple fronts, or what do you?
I feel like Israel's fighting multiple fronts.
And I mean, they are, right? Ultimately they're not, because if you assume what they're saying is 100% accurate, okay, in that Hamas is funded by Iran. And America says that Iran, and has for multiple, presidents, not just Trump, that Iran is the number one state
Right.
sponsors terrorism. So let's assume that's true. Then Israel fighting Hamas is the same as Israel fighting Iran to a degree. And I get your point, right? Like, fighting a multi-front war can be quite the challenge, right? We did it when you go back to Iraq, Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
You go back further.
Yeah.
You go back further to, Japan and Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have fought a multi-front war in the past a couple of times, and I would say we are definitely at both of those times that I've mentioned significantly more capable of doing as such. We're not quite as small a country as Israel. And Brian said, hey, you wanted the extinction event.
Don't really want it, but I'm just saying, it's just like,
it's out there. It's a thing.
Send the comment.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm just like at this rate.
Now, the crazy part is the reality is that if this stuff ends up working out, so we're at a ceasefire, we'll see if it holds. We're 2 days in, and it has. If he's able to actually bring about, he being Trump, an agreement. I don't want to call it a peace agreement because I don't think there will ever be peace with Iran. But if he's able to bring it about an agreement to permanent ceasefire, if you will, the scary, crazy part is that legitimately he's already been nominated, already 6 months into his term, been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. All he needs to do now is get this Ukrainian-Russia thing to stop. And what can anyone really say against him at that point? Is he a terrible person? Yes. You and I agree on that. He is not a good person. But when it comes to helping run the country in a way that represents the United States as the world's leader, what can you say? Honestly. Go ahead. Waiting.
No, I'm good. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
So, anyways,
Can you say anything against that?
I think so, but at the same time, I'm.
No, I genuinely, I'd love to hear, because again, I'm not a fan of him personally. I don't think he's a good man. But there's a difference between that and his ability to run the country from a worldwide perspective. And you have to try and separate those things.
Well, no, I'm just saying it's just like from the tariffs that
again, you can always try and find something negative, and I'm not disagreeing with that. All I'm saying is, if we talk about this thing specifically, let's focus on this one thing that I'm talking about. And this is one of my problems with genuinely hard liberal leaning people is they switch the topic. Let's focus on this topic for a moment.
The whole thing with Iran and Israel and
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't think like they were bombing each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we needed to. I don't think we needed to put our name on there.
So to that point, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but when is the appropriate time? Once we know they have the bomb?
No, I mean, it's
once
like
they use the bomb?
No, it's not even that. It's just like I feel like, like if like Israel's doing the bombing, like, okay, like
no.
Like,
I'm talking about the nuclear bomb. Okay?
No, I know. Like, well, I'm saying if
because
Israel's doing,
most countries in the
trying
world
to hit,
have a
right,
logical thought process, right? Like Russia has nuclear bombs. We know this.
right.
China has nuclear bombs.
Right.
Hell, North Korea has nuclear bombs, right?
Right.
But we know that all of these countries are smart enough to recognize the concept going back to the time of Reagan and even before then to Kennedy, mutually assured destruction, right? They know that if they use one, they're done. So it's kind of like the last resort, where with a place like Iran, and as the representation, the leadership of Iran has presented themselves, they don't care. They have said death to America. They have said death to Israel. They have said As soon as we've got it, we're using it. So at what point should we say, nah, you and bear in mind, Trump is not the first president. Biden said it, Obama said it, Clinton said it, Bush said it.
Yeah, and then but apparently
They've all said Iran cannot have the bomb.
Right,
this
and
is not
apparently
new.
with the with they had been complying with the they apparently had been complying with the agreement that we had that Obama had made. I guess the Iran nuclear deal or whatever. They had been complying with that apparently, and that's from multiple different inspectors that they had go in and do the inspections and all that kind of stuff. They had apparently been keeping to that deal, and then when we got out of it, it looks like that's when they kind of started ramping things back up. Which again, I know we don't need them to have it, but at the same time,
so the question that I asked
I
was
feel there
very
was a deal
simply,
in place.
when should we do something? Once they have it, once they use it, when is the time? And again, I didn't say it, I'm quoting Jimmy. No, they weren't, James. They kicked the inspectors out, and that is fact. But again, I didn't say it, Jimmy said it. So when is my question to you? When is the time to try and stop it? Once they have it, once they use it, when?
I don't know. I mean, like
if you're against, and it sounds like if you're against the actions that were taken, and that's fine. I'm not questioning whether it's good or not. All I'm saying is, if you are against what happened, when should that have happened? Once we could unequivocally confirm they had it, once they used it, when is the time to say, okay, now we have to stop it?
I think like if we can confirm that they have, I think if
we should wait. So what you're saying is we should have waited until we knew they had it. Is that what you're saying?
And then, yeah, I mean, because at the same time, like, you know, Israel wasn't Israel also hitting those spots?
That's a yes or a no. Are you saying that we should have waited until we knew they had it unequivocally?
Yeah, I think so. And
okay, then here's the problem with that, or at least what some people will say. As soon as they had it, they would have used it. And do you know what using it means?
But they would have fired on Israel or something?
It doesn't matter who they fired on. Do you know what using it on any major population center means?
There's a lot of death.
Millions in one. Okay. There's a claim, and I don't know if this is true. That's not what I'm here to do. There is a claim that they had enough material already to potentially make 8 to 10 bombs. They hadn't made the bombs yet, but they had enough material to do that. Let's assume that's true. The moment they make one bomb, and they can wipe out millions of people in one fell swoop. So what you're saying is waiting until we can confirm that they have it is the same as saying let's wait until they've used it. Do you get that?
When I say to just making sure that they actually have it?
Mm-hmm. With Russia, we know that they have it. China, we know that they have it, but they're not using it because they're smart enough. Iran is a country that, from what they have presented themselves to be, from a governmental leadership standpoint, is they don't care.
I don't know. I'm just saying that
like at that point, it was like I thought that that's what Israel's doing was striking these sites.
So Israel, to your point, let's look at the facts. Israel has struck many sites. However, how many civilians have been killed? And by civilians, I mean non-military or military related have been killed.
Oh, I don't know.
Compared to Iran's assault onto Israel, how many civilians have been targeted and killed? And the facts, if you look at facts, not what's reported by Fox, not what's reported by CNN, if you look at the facts, the sad reality is that Israel is trying to target military-based targets, where Iran is just throwing crap up and seeing where it lands. All I'm saying is there are two different ideologies in play. As a religious person, I think you are. You would recognize that the Christian God in the Bible ultimately says we should not kill, period, right? Even in self-defense, we should try to not kill. Where the Quran, as it's written, is very similar conceptually, but interpretations in the Iranian leadership are that if you're a non-believer, you're the great Satan and you should die. There are a lot of Muslims out there that don't agree with that. There are a lot of Muslims out there that believe similar to Christians, that live and let live, kind of, right?
Yeah.
But the sad part is Iran has been over, to a degree, for almost 45 years or 45 plus years, been controlled by a ideological philosophy that this is the way, right?
Yeah,
it would be like
zealots than anything.
Yeah, it would be like America being run by hard right Christians, right? That think that if you don't believe in Christ, you're evil. And that is not what Christ said, right? Like,
Right.
You go back to the times of the Crusades, and I have to believe that God was against that. Killing people because you don't believe in Christ and God, like that is not what the point was.
No.
Similarly, I have to believe, while Muhammad had peace be upon him, while he had, some radical philosophies, I don't think his genuine intention was kill everyone that doesn't believe.
No. Because it almost doesn't make sense.
Well, yeah, because then you're left with only a handful of people.
Yeah. An eye for an eye. Pretty soon, everybody's blind.
That, one of the things, the irony, Godspell, a fantastic musical written by a Jew. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth makes the whole world blind and toothless. I'm sorry, my bad. That was Fiddler on the Roof. That wasn't Godspell.
Yeah.
But that line sticks with me to this day. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth makes the whole world blind and toothless. Because none of us are perfect, right? We all falter. And I can't believe that there is a God that wants us to be, or expects us to be, perfect. And whether that's Muslim, whether that's Christian, whether that's Judaism, which are the three major faiths of the world, I don't know. Jeff says, that a joke in me, James.
What?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Anyway.
It's talking about the world. Superman.
Kind of wish we had Superman.
So DC is coming out with a limited series.
And this is from
Superman-
artists around the world.
Yeah, Superman doesn't just protect Metropolis, and his global mission is showcased in Superman the World, an original graphic novel anthology featuring top talent from 15 countries, including Dan Jurgens, Lee Weeks, Jorge Jimenez, Steven Subic, and more.
Yeah, I mean, I almost kind of wish they had. I mean, some of the names you can kind of tell where they're from, but I wish they had more like, oh, from here, and this artist from here, or in the book. I guess they'll have that.
Yeah, like this art or this story from. I like this one. This feels very Italian to me. No, is it just me? Can you guess where this is from?
Is that Japan?
It's got to be, right? I'm not trying to be racist, but that's got to be.
It's super anime.
You plan to pick it up?
If I can find it, if it's not, it's one of those depending on the price things.
What does that mean when you say dependent on
I mean, like if it's something that's like 20, I'd probably give it a shot. If it's like 50, I might have to wait for it to go down before I actually pick that up. But overall, I think it's like an interesting concept. I think that putting these, my biggest question is, are these stories going to connect? Or he did say an anthology, so I guess that's just each one is individual. Are they? Wait. Now my big question is it going? I guess it'll be translated. I guess everything will be translated into for different audiences. I guess they'll be sold all over the world, I would guess. So, I mean, I guess they'd have to translate them. So, yeah, man. Or do they just do they just leave it in one, and then people have to, they have to know how to speak English or something. I don't know. I've never seen. I know, like in manga, like they don't. That's all like Japanese. I don't know if they've. Translated those for an English audience, but yeah. Are they going to be? Are each of these going to be in English, or are they going to be translated for wherever they're sold? Or
I mean, it definitely seems like it will be here in America in English. But yes, to your point, I do think that these may be written in each of the 15 different languages in which the countries come from. And here's the thing that immensely I think is fantastic, and one of the things that Icy Sound Comics was going to be striving towards is releasing in multiple languages.
yeah,
Because today you can go to Japan and pick up comic books in Japanese, but we are going to be releasing comic books in multiple languages. But not only will you get those in print in different languages, but you'll also get the audio to go with them, which isn't really a thing right now.
yeah. So, but like I was saying, I think if it's like if it's like $20 or something like that, yeah, maybe like between $20 and $30, I'd probably get it. If any more than that, I'd be like, I don't know.
So, do you have a local comic book store that you go to?
Not really. I haven't really. I've been to a couple, but not one that I like go to. I haven't bought a comic in a while.
Well, I want to give a shout out to a couple here in Northern Nevada, Dreamwell Comics. If you are a comic book nerd, kind of like us, go support your local comic book store, especially Dreamwell Comics here in Northern Nevada. They really are one of the last bastions of comic book society. They do a fantastic job. getting the weekly releases and everything. The other I want to call out, who we announced last week as a vendor coming to KaboomCon, is Chris's Comics, based out of the San Francisco Bay Area. And there we have a ton of followers. If you live in the San Francisco Bay Area, please go support, show some love to Chris's Comics. You know, the difficulty is with the streaming or online ability to get comic books these days. The comic book stores are dying, and I don't know about you, but for me, and maybe it's because of our age, I still prefer having that book.
Yeah, I'd like, you know, online is cool because, you know, it's, but at the same time, I am also the same way. Like, that's why I like part of an ebook is like, okay, that's cool to have, but at the same time, you know, there's a part of me that likes having the tangible.
Yeah, I like having the ebook in that, you know, especially with the comic books, I can go panel by panel and have them take up the full screen. And that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is really something about having that book, the smell, the feel, the tactile of opening that book and looking at the artwork in front of you. And it is quite the challenge because, you know, we have gotten into the comic book game, right? In Icy Sound Comics and printing and producing. And here in the near future, we will be doing some digital online. For those of you who don't know, Icy Sound Comics has a website. There's not a whole lot there right now, but I've been talking with the team and we will be publishing some stuff there in the very near future.
Ow.
And, you know, it's nice to have that platform because it's instant. It gets it out there. It's content that is available for people. But at some point, I don't know. I maybe I'm just old, but I feel like having that book in my hands, there's just something about it.
Oh, I mean, like there was like, yeah, because I mean, I remember those nights when, you know, it's bedtime and you still, you know, like you're not tired, so you like pull the covers over your head, you have the flashlight and you're reading through a book, you know, you're reading through the comic, and you know, like I was more of a Marvel guy than a DC guy. Growing up,
and I was a DC guy more than a Marvel growing up.
Oh yeah, see, I was like one of the first comics I ever got was one of the X-Men. It was a number one, you know, like it was like a couple, like number 1, 2, and 3 or something like that. It was like a newer story or something like that. It's like along the lines of the
God Love Man's Kills.
No, it was the it's more along the line. It more lined up with the animated series than anything. At that point in time, I think it was like before the animated series, but it was like, yeah, it was a little bit before the animated series. But like that's what I really liked. I was more in the art. I would read the stories. I didn't read the stories until like later. Like I just was more enamored by the art of it all.
Pictures.
Yeah. I would read a little bit, but I was really just more interested in the art. And then later on, I mean, I did get into some DC. I got into some DC, but there was really only really cared about like Batman, some Superman stuff, but mostly Batman. But yeah, I think, and then like later on, and then I liked some Nightwing stuff later on too. So I mean, most of the stuff has been like based around the Dark Knight. I've gone through some Superman, like Death of Superman was a big one. So I mean remember that being reported around the world. When that came out. But yeah, no, I think overall, I haven't bought a comic. Like I said, I haven't bought a comic in years.
Well, you brought it up and you mentioned Batman. Feel like we'd be remiss. Deadpool and Batman coming in the very near future.
Yeah, and then they have. This is also.
This is the first crossover between Marvel and DC in quite a while.
But apparently, this isn't. There's a couple others coming. down the pipeline as well, which seems kind of interesting. Like,
I have not heard of any others. I
Oh.
will have to-
No, there. I read it earlier. Hold on.
so there definitely some artwork being done.
Oh no, yeah. So
Variant
it's
covers with like Daredevil and Green Arrow here.
Oh no, I thought that was. Oh,
Jeff and Crypto, but these are variant covers to go with the Deadpool and Batman.
that was okay. I didn't realize that was variant covers. Like on here, it said, on the post that you would put on, it said, the one shot will also backups, additional backup stories spotlighting other Marvel and DC team ups from Daredevil, Green Arrow, Kevin Smith, Captain America and Wonder Woman, and then Jeff the Land Shark and Crypto.
Yeah. There might be like a 1 page or 2 page on each of those to give a quick little thing. But obviously the Deadpool Batman is the primary. Sounds like this is going to be a multi-issue thing. And it sounds like, one of the things we had talked about initially with Icy Sound Comics was doing a Murphy's Inc. Comic book run. And at the end of those comic books having a Shadow Squad, a couple pages of the Shadow Squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't know what the heck I'm talking about, go listen to Murphy's Inc. And
Season 1 and season 2.
Yeah. It's well worth the listen. But ultimately, I love the crossover events. I wish, and I don't know if you saw, but John Cena was recently asked at an event if he ever saw himself being in Marvel. And he made a really good statement that there is tribalism in wrestling, right? You're either a WWE fan or an AEW fan. Well, why can't you be fans of both, right? And his point was, why can't you be a fan of DC and Marvel? And why can't there be a crossover film between DC and Marvel? And
a film wise, I just don't see. I don't see that happening just because. Well, otherwise, there's going to have to be some talks about money.
If DC was smart, they would do it. Sony was smart, and they did it. And look at, right?
Yeah.
No offense to anyone at DC today, but really, their best case scenario. We'll see what Superman holds here coming up, but prior to the James Gunn DC universe, their best case scenario would have been crossover events with DC and Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that John Cena had a really good point in that DC could do a lot more working with Marvel than, imagine the MCU. Right now we're in the multiverse era, right? Where we're looking at multi-universes of just the Marvel world, right? 20th Century Fox, Sony, and even what's within the comic books. Now imagine if you brought in a true multiverse and brought in DC to that. That's insane. Imagine having Superman come alongside Captain America. There is a lot of money to be made there.
Yeah, but at the same time, that would be who gets how does the story go? Like that's the only thing I see being a complication in the whole thing.
No, and your point is immensely correct, unfortunately, that right now what matters is, well, who's getting how much of a cut, right?
Yeah, who's getting our character, who's the story revolving around, and who's getting the screen time and all that kind of stuff and the story, who, like it would. So that's the only reason I don't think it would work just at this point, just because you got two different things going on.
It's
But-
less focused on the fans and more focused on the money. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, people, yeah, because I mean, again, I've seen DC, I've seen like all the DC films, and I just haven't really been impressed. The only ones that I really enjoy, Wonder Woman was the first Wonder Woman was good. I did like the Shazam movies. I'm not gonna lie about that. I did like the Shazam movies.
Both of them?
I thought there was like 3 of them.
Are you including Black Adam?
No, I thought there was 3, but maybe I'm tripping. I thought there's only 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I didn't like. I thought there was the one Fury of the Gods or something like that.
That was the second one.
That was the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right.
What was the third one?
Oh, I thought that was the one with like Lucy Liu and the dragon and stuff. Maybe I thought that was the third one, but maybe I'm tripping. Like apparently I am. But no, I like the Shazam movies. Those are just kind of fun. I've liked both Suicide Squad movies. The second one better than the first one, but I actually like the first one I enjoyed.
Just to make sure I'm not crazy.
Oh, I guess
How
it was
many
only...
Shazam movies are there? Shazam 2019, Shazam Fury of the Gods 2020.
That's okay. 20. Yeah. So Fury of the Gods. That's the one. Okay. I thought there was another one in there somewhere. But yeah. So I like those. I liked the newest Batman. The Batman. I enjoyed that one.
You like Sparkly Vampire?
Yeah. I didn't think I was gonna like him, but as
You like him better than Christian Bale?
At the end, yeah. I mean, I like the last, I didn't really care for Christian Bale I liked the movie, but what was the last one? Dark Knight Rises? No. It was Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I liked Dark Knight Rises, but I don't know. It was something about it that I was just like, I mean, it was good. I still enjoyed it, but I just didn't really care for.
And let me guess, you loved Val Kilmer's Batman
I did like Val Kilmer's Batman.
and George Clooney's.
Hell no, like that was my least favorite one.
Oh,
But no, yeah. So the Batman film, the newest one, I enjoyed that one. But other than that, it's been a lot of misses. Oh, actually, that's a lie. I did like Man of Steel.
I have no idea what Jeff is talking about. Oh, so you like Ben Affleck's Batman? Okay.
No. I said Man of Steel. I didn't say I liked. I hated Batman versus Superman. 100% hated that film.
I actually made my wife watch Deadpool Wolverine recently, and when it came to the kind of the sequence of let's find a Wolverine, and we have Cavill as Wolverine. I paused it because I was like, "Do you understand what this means?" She's like, "Didn't he play Superman?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was impressed.
But that Superman's dead.
Is he dead? That universe is dead.
That Superman's gone. But yeah. So regardless of all that stuff, I just think that I mean, I think the comic book idea is easier to do because you can find artists that they love both. And
so you're saying right here and now, definitively, on June 25th, 2025 at 10:05 p.m. Pacific, there is no chance in hell there will ever be a DC Marvel crossover film.
I don't think so.
You don't think you ever see Warner Brothers and Disney coming together like they did with, um, you know, back
with
Who Framed
with
Roger
Who
Rabbit.
Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, I don't see that happen. I mean, and even then, I think I no, I don't remember where I was reading something, and it was talking about that, and they were um, like Warner Brothers was like, it said, I don't know if, and again, don't know if it's 100% true, but like they were like something about wish we hadn't done that or something like that. But at the same time, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was like it's a classic.
I mean, it was a Touchstone Disney film
Yeah.
forward, right? The intention was that. And so, yes, Warner Brothers didn't get the main heralding, if you will, but
They ended the movie. Oh, actually, they kind of ended the movie, and then Disney actually ended the movie with they had the whole thing with Porky Pig and then Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell, yeah.
It hit.
And Jimmy, Pop Culture Boom, to get them to legally getting it done is next level impossible. And I'll agree with him from that perspective. If your point, James, was that from a legality, making it happen, getting, Marvel and DC to come together, legally, I think that's quite the challenge. Do I think they could get there? I think they could. But it sounds like your point is less about the legal aspect and more of the creative aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I think on the creative end, I think it would not. Yeah, no, there's a lot of legal stuff, but at the same time, what I was talking about was as far as creative goes, is like there would have to be a lot of back and forth, like who gets like the top billing, whose character gets more.
See, that's not
do we get
creative.
screen
That's
time?
legal.
Is that legal?
Yeah, the creative is more of, who's going to be in these scenes and doing this with who. The legal is more of who's top billing and who's.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I was talking legally, but yeah, I just don't I just don't see it happening between those.
And I don't think you're wrong. I want to be clear. I don't think you're wrong. It's sad.
Yeah.
I think from a creative standpoint, absolutely DC and Marvel should want to do it.
Like
the flip
back
side
in the
is-
day, I think if again, I think it would have also been the same thing if before WWE or WWF at the time acquired WCW. I think it would have been awesome to see some of these guys, the tops of each of these companies going head to head in a pay-per-view. But again, you had two egos running both companies, and so having
I don't know. We kind of see that right now with TNA and WWE. And I don't know, is this really in the best interest of the fans where Joe Hendry loses the belt to Trick Williams in TNA? I'm sorry, TNA versus NXT. And again, I'm not knocking either one, but the difficulty in doing that is you are ultimately insinuating that a talent from one brand is better than the top talent in another brand.
Well, no, but again, like that's what I'm saying. But even with this, it's like it. Like I was surprised that it happened because like up until that point, they'd had matches and whoever was the champion kept the championship. And so
my point is that wrestling isn't comparable. The
TNA
Mickey
thing
and Bugs or Daffy and Donald, they didn't go against each other in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Well, Daffy and Donald absolutely did.
Not really. Because nobody won. If you really think about that scene, nobody won. They both lost.
They pulled it. Yeah, they both pulled. But
that was great. But when you think about the Mickey Bugs scene, nobody lost, right? Like both, and that's my point. Is wrestling is not comparable because in wrestling, at the end of the day, there's a winner and a loser. Where in doing a Marvel DC, unless you had Marvel going up against DC. Which is not how I would do it. I would have a team of Marvel DC superheroes going up against a team of Doctor Doom and Thanos and these top level threats in Marvel and DC. The heroes win. In wrestling, you can't always have the hero win. And
Right.
honestly, like when you look at the current example that we're talking about with Trick Williams and Joe Hendry, who's the face?
Joe Hendry.
But if you look at it from an NXT perspective,
I am looking at it from an NXT. Joe Hendry. Like Trick Williams is definitely playing the heel part here. He's teamed up with heels from.
but if you're and the thing you got to remember about wrestling, unfortunately, is there is immense tribalism.
I've been trying to watch. I don't even know where the hell to watch TNA now. I was looking and trying to figure that out.
How hard have you been trying then?
Like I was like, where I actually went in and I was like, where do I watch TNA? And
The short answer is on Zumo Play or VIX.
yeah.
I don't know what either of those are.
Yeah, I know it. I know exactly what they are, but it's just like didn't TNA used to be on TV?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and then and I've tried, and don't get me wrong, and I've tried to watch AEW, and I've watched a little bit, and
It is on Access TV in the US.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I don't even.
That sounds.
I don't have cable.
I feel like that's an app. I don't even think that's cable. I think that's an app. And so, yeah, that makes it a little bit harder. But
Jimmy says the short answer to watch TNA is to go to a strip club, and Jimmy would know all about that because that's his second home.
Jesus. Anyways,
I'm guessing. I don't know if that's true, but to have that kind of response makes me think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just think, yeah, again, I doubt we'll see one of those films.
I don't disagree. And unfortunately, I don't think it's a creative thing. I think it's more of a legal thing.
I mean, honestly, and one of the things too is that if these books do well, I could maybe see one-off films or something like that.
And I think that's kind of my point. Is I'm more surprised at the fact that it's been over a decade since there's been a crossover. And so the fact that from a comic perspective that they're doing one is hopeful.
Yeah, but I think again, I mean, if these do well, I could see maybe one-off films. Things like that. But yeah, no.
And Jeff says, "Hey Jimmy, can you take me to the midget strip club?" So Jimmy, as a reminder, Jeff will be in town for Silver Age, which I know Jimmy is going to be a part of.
Is there a midget strip club?
I have no idea.
Oh,
is that the so there's the Peppermint Rhino or Spearmint Rhino or something like that, which I assume is the full size. Maybe there is the Peppermint Porcupine. I don't know. That's for the little people.
Spearmint Rhino. Yeah, there's Spearmint Rhino and
Jimmy. Can you speak to this? At all?
There's actually out here. There's the Peppermint Rhino and Spearmint Hippo or something like that. I was like, bruh, hippo? No, that's not an animal. A rhino and a hippo are not animals that that should be on. I'm like, what?
And Jeff says we can bring the dog. She makes them look hella small.
Oh, Jesus.
Aren't you sad you're not going to be up here, James?
Absolutely not for that.
Before we sign off for the day, I wanted to pull back the curtain as we do here occasionally. So if you're looking at the screen right now, what we see is the Carson City Community Center. And this is the facility, and here's what we're currently working on. I'm going to move us up into the other corner so we're not covering. So you can see there's some restrooms. Here's the main lobby. So this year we're going to do things a little bit differently for KaboomCon. We're going to have the main entrance through the front of the theater.
Yeah.
So last year we were doing it over here in the gym,
Yep.
and we're moving it. We're moving it here. And the reason is very simple. A lot of people told us, I didn't know there was anything happening over there.
Yeah, which is crazy to me, but I guess because we were setting it up, so
So we're going to have the entrance at the front, force your way all the way to the back. So we've got the main sales floor, and you can see I've already started setting it up with the special guests, calling them out. We've got Figure X, who makes custom action figures, collectible figurines. We've got Brent Anderson from X-Men, God Loves, Man Kills. We've got Chris Moranin. He did Wonder Woman and Nova and many others. We've got Don Aguillo, who's still active, working on Spawn and the DC Pride series. Alex DeLuca, Kenny Eichen, Stephen Yu. We've got a double booth for Odin Makes because, man, that guy does some amazing props. We've got Salem T. Lin, the author, over here in the Tahoe room, which is the screen area, as well as Philip Ginn, 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 G-I-I-N, don't know. I'm going to go again. We've got the Terror Dog Squad up here, and they're going to have the inflatable Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, where you can take pictures with them, as well as some Terror Dogs. And you've got the Dreamwell Comics, where they're going to have the Captain Kirk Star Trek chair you can sit in and take pictures. So some photo opportunities back here. We've got the boardroom with panels and presentations. We've got the game room, which will be hosted by Three Arrows Games. We're going to have some of our nonprofits out here, such as Carson Victory Rollers and Cordillera Film Festival and others. We'll also have our information and potentially, I'm debating, probably where we'll have our raffle booth. And then, of course, this is the main stage. This is where all the big events are going to be happening, including the Ghostbusters 2 movie screening, as well as the Ghosts and Ghouls Masquerade Ball, where JD Charisma will be doing a 40-minute performance of his new album that's going to be releasing later this year. And we'll have Fast Times Dance Party on the main stage, rocking out Saturday night, September 20th. What are you thinking, James?
What?
Just about the facility, what we've got going on.
I mean, I like the idea of people coming through the front. I mean, it just makes sense. Plus, again, they'll see that there's two sides, and then you can go straight back, and get in. Then you hit the floor, so you're past the game rooms as well as the museum.
Yeah, and we haven't even fully decided. So this is right up here. This is the Bonanza room. We don't know what we're using this for yet. We have it. Still trying to figure out what's happening there.
Oh, I thought we had. Okay, I remember we had.
We've talked about the museum.
But anyway,
We'll see.
I'm just, and then you work your way back. So then you'll see where panels and stuff are going to be held. You'll see where the game room is, or you should see that. And then on your way back, and then I think
you know what this doesn't include. Let's show off. Hold on.
Oh,
this doesn't show the West Side parking lot.
Yeah, it does not.
Why did this not preview? That's not what I wanted to preview. There we go. So here is our West Side parking lot with lots of space for vendors. Still working on this, but we'll have vendors. And last year we had this thing pretty full up. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
So this West Side parking lot will be blocked off. There will be no parking here. This is where we're going to have a crap ton of additional vendors. So
get in where you fit in. Yeah, so definitely,
Like
like I said, now there's no excuse for you not knowing where everything is this year. Plus, it's longer con. Last year was one day, and again, we were just trying to. It was we were trying to figure stuff out. Now we know.
And if you don't have your tickets, I cannot stress enough. Don't wait. Right over there in that corner, there's Kaboom Con
this way.
tickets.
Keep forgetting.
Get your
I have to go
Kaboom
opposite
Con,
way.
get your Dynamite Pass, because that's going to get you entrance to every event. That includes the movie screening,
Yep.
Con Day 1, Con Day 2,
Yep.
and Ghosts and Ghouls Masquerade Ball.
Yep. It's 4 events, baby.
Don't wait.
4 events, one low price. Again, this is even cheaper than most cons you're going to see at all.
Yeah, the Dynamite Pass is $60. You couldn't talk about, or Jimmy didn't give you time to talk about it over on Pop Culture Kaboom. I'll give you the time here. $60.
Yeah, you're not going to find any con that's multiple
A
days,
multi-day con.
and has multiple events that you're going to be able to get. Because even I don't even think you buy tickets for the stuff you buy tickets to get into to like Comic-Con, but then like in some of those other outside event things that they do, you got to be there and waiting for that stuff. So
yeah, you want to go meet with one of the actual comic book artists, you're paying for that separately.
yeah, like we got them here, and you can go down the row and meet all of them. You can have them sign stuff, and they'll do it. Like you can actually talk with these guys. So they like talking shop, especially like Brent and Chris. Like they love talking shop. And so but again, like you're not going to get that anywhere else. Like you're not going to be able to just meet artists and just be like, hey, I really love this, that, and the other thing that you did, or just ask them, pick their brains about comics and stuff like that, and they'll sit there and talk with you, and they're not like, okay, next type deal. There's and again, like even like. So for Comic-Con, for example, like they do like those special, they've done those special things out at the it's not the San Diego, it's that outdoor theater they have in San Diego where they like, it looks kind of like the Hollywood Bowl, but it's not. It's a little bit different. But anyways, but even if you want to go to that kind of stuff, like you're waiting out there for that stuff like all day, because those things fill up super quick. And so you basically just missed an entire day of the con. Or like if they're doing special panels and stuff like that, you can't just get into those. Like you have to be outside waiting for those. And so you're outside waiting for these things, missing the con. So like this one is definitely like we're spacing things out so that you can go do multiple things in the days. And there'll be multiple days, so we're not trying to cram everything into one day. Now we can spread it out a little bit more over the 2 days.
Yeah, and to James's point, I mean, ultimately our goal is to allow you as the fan to have the opportunity to meet these people. You go to, there was one event we talked about that's happening over in London where the entire cast of like Lord of the Rings is going to be there.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And that's cool, right? But you're going to have an opportunity if you go to that con to meet, Sir Ian McKellen. But your meeting Ian McKellen is going to be about 30 seconds where you take a picture of him and get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
Because there's someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the case here. Do we have Ian McKellen? No. But we have Brent Anderson. We have Chris Miranda. We have Donna Gio. We have Odin Abbott from Odin Makes. Like, we have these people that want to meet you. They want to share in their nerddom with you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to tell you go away. You can go and talk to them and spend time with them, and no one is charging you for that except to get in.
And then again, like they might just be like, hold, like, and you could be having a conversation and somebody else might come up. They might say, hey, hold on. They'll greet the other person and then they'll come back to you. It's not like, oh, now you got to go. They'll wait.
Yeah.
You can wait and they'll come back to you. Like I went up one time, I was waiting. I was just kind of waiting because I'd already had a chance to talk to him, but I wanted to talk with him a little bit more. I believe that was with Chris Moran, for example, and he was talking with somebody else. And so I waited and he called me up. He was like, he told the guy, hold on, I came up, I was chatting with him for a quick minute, and then I was like, all right, cool, I will I'll see you later. And then I walked away, and like I kind of turned back, and he continued his conversation with this gentleman that he was talking to. So it was like,
And here's the thing, to that point, like, we've had the opportunity to get other people. I don't want people that are just going to be at our events trying to make a buck. I get it, right? At the end of the day, I'm a businessman. So are you, right? But we also aren't just in it to make money. And that's the thing I respect about every single one of the guests that we're bringing to this show, and that we will continue to bring to
Mhm.
KaboomCon, is it's not about making a dollar. It's about making an impact. It's about spending time with the people who ultimately help to pay for these people to have the life that they're having.
yeah, like I
Because
mean, Stephen Yu is a prime example, bro. Like he's not huge, but at the same time, anybody that came up to his booth, he was engaging as all hell, like making sure that he talked to everybody. He made sure, like, if they came through with a book, he was signing them. He was
I
making
love the fact that you brought up Stephen. I'm actually meeting with him tomorrow. Stephen Yu, Joan of Arc comic book series. If you haven't checked it out, give it a look. I'm meeting with him tomorrow. This guy, he, to me, exemplifies what you and I do, in that he contacted me and said, hey, I want to help KaboomCon. I want to make it a thing. And I am meeting with him tomorrow. I did this last year as well, to give him flyers and stickers and everything. And he wants to go out and help promote this because he wants to see it be successful, not for himself, but for the community. And that's what I care about. I got a post, I got a mention or whatever on one of the platforms recently from somebody, and was like, hey, I really appreciate the fact that you guys make sure to call out the community in which you're doing your thing. You call out Carson City or whatever. And
yes,
it's
a
like,
lot of places
yes,
won't do that.
why wouldn't we? We are there to serve the community. Like, I'm not doing this to make a buck. If I was, I'm doing the wrong thing.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, would I like to make some money off of this? Sure. But that's not why we're doing it. You and I started 97 and Out Productions because our mission statement is to provide an opportunity for people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise be given.
Mhm.
And that is why we're doing what we do. That is why we did Murphy's Inc. with a no name based out of Australia. That is why we did Oak Bridge with a no name based out of Atlanta, Georgia. That is why we continue to do what we're doing. When we look at some of the audio dramas that we're looking at producing here in the near future, why we're doing KaboomCon, because we want to get back to our community.
We want to be with people that like-minded people. That's what we're about.
I'm not quite sure I understand, Jeff. I'm calling out Atlantis for having a buffet.
Yeah, they have a buffet.
They do. That's a true statement.
Yes. What? Oh, Jeff.
Ultimately, we want to get back to our community, get back to the arts, and see people around us be successful, because their success hopefully brings us success. You and I have talked about this privately, right? Where we don't care if Oak Bridge makes $1. What we care about is that Jam the artist, Ashley Dean, the creator, that they go on to become a success, because we can tip our hat on that they started with us. That to us is more important than us being successful.
Even some of our actors, we've clearly said we are more than happy to have them go on because they were here with us.
Connor Howard, he is an amazing voice actor. He is the lead voice actor on Oak Bridge. He is one of the lead voice actors on Murphy's Inc. Season 2. He did a fantastic side project for us called Homesick. he just posted this last week that a video game he worked on 3 years ago is finally releasing. Good on him.
Mhm.
I am so proud of him. I will post and publish everything about it, even though we had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It's twofold. One, yeah, he did that, but he also did Oak Bridge for us.
Yeah.
But more importantly, he is seeing the success that you and I both saw that he deserved a long time ago.
You know, and I mean, like we him and I mean, a lot of the some of the other voice actors that we have on the show actually, this is what they do. Like they do voiceovers, and they do that for money. They do this with us
Because they're passionate.
because they're passionate. They know our passion, and they just like working with us. Like, you know, we're like I said, like I think we're more fun. I mean, we're not as I mean, like the other stuff, they're getting paid, and I don't know if they have as much fun, but you know, there's probably more stringency to it where we're just like, you know, we're more laxed. Yeah, we get stuff done, but at the end of the day, like we're not like, oh no, this is where it's got to be. Like, you know, I mean, like yes, especially when I'm directing, I have a sound that I want, and I don't always get it. I try. It sometimes misses the mark, but at the same time, I'm not super stressed about it because at the end of the day, everything is it's all good. So, you know, and you know, this is why one of the reasons why we give, you know, we do the credits the way we do them. We give credit to the people that wrote it. We give credit to every episode. You know, art done by Jam, the artist. Art, you know, these people did this. These people did that. You know, all the actors that are involved in the episode, things like that. That's why we do it. Why we do it, because some places don't do that.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but since you said what you said, I have to. I was listening to episode 1 of Oak Bridge, and there is an uncredited line, and it's you, and I know it's you. And I'm like, really? Really, James? You could have had someone else do that.
In episode 1?
In the first scene, the opening scene of episode 1, there is a line that is by someone, and I know it's you. And if it's not, I want to know who it was, because it is you. And you didn't credit yourself, and I appreciate that you didn't credit yourself. But I also question, having looked at the script, why was that line necessary?
I know I did like some stuff in the background for. Oh yeah, that because we were just
No, you don't have to justify it here.
No, I know. Yeah, that now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because we had because there was when we were listening back to it, we're like, yo, like something not like it feels like it's needed, and so I just recorded it real quick, and then we added that in just so that we had. So it was just some sort of connection because it was just sounding blank. And then, I did some stuff later on too, but just like kind of just to help fill in sound because you know I had some actors jump in and do these things as well. I was like, hey, make sure you do this for me real quick just so we can fill in the voices. But actually a lot of that Joe and his wife, if we needed to fill in voices, Joe and his wife did that, which was cool. I know I did a couple things where we needed to, like I said, more. It's mostly just fill in stuff. Or I think in the last episode I did something. So, but we'll see. I probably gotta redo that. But yeah, no, it's real simple.
I will say I'm a little disappointed, mostly in the fact that I did not do any voice acting on Oak Bridge season 2, and I could have, and you didn't call me.
I mean, it wasn't like literally just the stuff that we did. You were.
I'm just saying I could have instead of you using yourself.
Oh, I was already in the recording session, so that's yeah. Yeah, but then like again, I know I do it, but it's literally just to fill in. Just like Joe does stuff, and it's just to fill in. He's not credited for those parts either. So,
anyways, you got anything to finish out the show?
Nah, man. I gotta grab my stuff out of the dryer. I gotta go to work. I don't have to, but I picked up a shift tomorrow, so I gotta go in tomorrow for a little while. It'll be easy.
I'm sorry. You don't have to work for 12 hours and 24 minutes.
Yeah, but man, you know me. It takes me a while to go to bed, and then I like to sleep.
That's because you don't know how to turn off your phone.
No, I'm my phone actually.
I lived with you.
Die.
You do not know how to turn off your phone. You fall asleep with your phone on.
I fall asleep with music on my phone.
My statement is accurate. You fall asleep with your phone on.
Yeah, I listen to music. I've been doing that since I was a kid too. If I had
You had a phone when you were a kid.
No, I'm saying like that was with my stereo, my CD player, and my boombox, and like I would have the CD on repeat, or the radio station on, listening to that. Well, I wasn't really listening to it when I was asleep, but it was playing when I was asleep.